Good afternoon, everyone. I'm your reporter for today's afternoon. So, ethical, legal, and professional issues and computing. So, my topics is all about free speech and the internet. So, when we say free speech, for example, the Facebook. So, the Facebook is through the use of Facebook, nag nagpo-post kita han mga karag naton ipaywatig han mga tao or mga karag naton isiring through this use of platform which is the internet. And siya insisiring nato na free speech or freedom of speech. So, internet naman, so we can communicate to our loved ones or friends or someone or family naton through the use of internet. We can communicate. So, the internet has raised a whole range of new questions and issues regarding to appropriate content and appropriate regulation of the content in different contexts. So, in the internet, we can avoid problems in the internet or the forms of speech. So, among the most problematic form of speech on the internet have been pornography, hate speech, and a form of expression connected with terrorism or political dissent. We all know that everybody is free to browse and use internet and have freedom of expression towards. But in accordance to the moral principle, like for example in social media or Facebook nala, there are so-called bloggers and influencers who created their own context and content to gain followers and make money on it. People are free to choose whom to follow and like what they want. Pero not all of the content are good to the viewer. Sometimes it causes violence and harm to others. Not all seen in the internet are good for the viewer. Cause it sometimes cause violence nga. So, usa pa in napoproblemahan internet which is an cyberbullying. May internet, may mga sinisiring kita ng mga basher, races, na commonly in the internet. Internet nowadays also used in promoting politics due to easy access on it. So, usa na hini yan ang problema liwat. It's because, for example, nalaan, inila na umagi na election. So, in an election is damon ang mga dumalagan na inggamit nera ang social media. It's because easy la an era pag pamulitikad easy an era pag sinisiring nga easy ang pag-promote nera han era campaign. So then also sometimes it cause fake news. So diri maiwasan na yan na ang mga fake news because everybody can share and free to comment on it. Prohibited sites like porn is strictly disabled for minors. Hate speech like racism and bullying is also present in the internet. So diri natin ito mga iwasan. However, many of the challenges posed by internet are a result of the characteristic in the internet itself. So, Queen nagsuggest hiya han 5 characteristic. So, we can show it in the figure 5.2. So, ini ang 5 nga in-suggest ni Queen, which is an internet kuno is dynamic network, many-to-many communication, users of all ages and nationalities, transcendence national boundaries, and lastly is scale and size. So, when we say many-to-many communication, communication is what we many-to-many communication. So, like for example, yana an pandemic or yana. So, we use online class. We use Messenger, Google Meet, or any social media application in order to communicate to many peoples or classmates and teachers or family in a common goods. So, it is very helpful to us to continue communicating with them and studying, even experiencing COVID-19. On the other hand, the advantages of this, sometimes news and posts can easily be shared to others and spread easily. Sometimes it's called viral post or viral news because many are able to know what is issue is all about. Then the next one is dynamic network. So kaya ano yung tawag ang network and internet is dynamic network because internet is dynamic because millions of computers are being connected to the internet each years. So kada kada year may dakita million of computers na connected kada tagsa. Kaya tinawag nga dynamic network. So, next one is skill and size. So, kaya tinawag ang internet na skills and size? Because internet is very huge. Huge here. There is no way for the human sensor to keep track of everything that is posted on the web or website. The next one would be the user of all ages and nationalities. So, users and adults and children. It is hard to distinguish between children and adults on the internet. So, makuri ang pag-distinguish han adult and children. It's because may dakita sinisiring na mga sites nga pan-adults la. Users are all ages and nationalities. So, users, adult, and nationalities, not all websites are open for children. For example, in the porn site, it is very prohibited for those who are in minor age below 18 years old to the sexual content and other sites with SPG content, which is strongly parental guidance for the malicious act. Then, the last one would be the internet transcendent national boundaries. So, bakit niya tinawag? It's because the internet is global. Kabukusan global. National government have limited authority to restrict activities opening outside their borders. Kaya tinawag hiya nga transcendent nationalities. It's because each national government is naglilimit hirahan mga authority restricted na mga nahihimo outside each borders. Kaya tinawag hiya nga transcendent national boundaries for an internet is global. Then moving on, so here are some definition nga adto nga five characteristic na in suggest ni Queen. We have many-to-many communication, dynamic, skills and size of the internet, global, and the last one is user, adults, and children. So, moving on, the internet technology supporting free expression. In addition to the foregoing characteristic, specific internet technologies can enable free expression. So those internet technologies that tend to enhance free expression are the following. So ini na mga technologies is nagsusuportan aton free expression and aton freedom, free expression. So what are those following? First, electronic mail. The internet essential started with electronic mail as its primary communication medium and has historical fought hard to keep this free from censorship. By its very nature, electronic mail is extremely hard to censor, especially simple point-to-point mail because of the distributed and robust nature of routing protocols. So, ini nga electronic mail, ang siya ini an aton, short for email. So, an email is an aton primary communication. So, an aton email, usahiya nga, hard hiya nga ma-sensor. It's because may dakita sinisiring nga routing protocols. So, news group and Usenet technologies are widespread and difficult to censor. Ini yung news group and Usenet is napakahirap hiya nga ma-sensor. Then, Internet chat facilities can also enable free expression where unregulated and provide the opportunities for anonymity. So, for example, for example nalahan messenger. So, and messenger is we chat to our friends ngan loved ones nga kung ano nato mga karuyag signon ha era or may mga ano kita then makuri niya ma-sensor liwat. Then the web is democratic publishing medium where there are few restricted. Any business, organization, or individual can set up a home page on the web. So, for example, ang mga business web. So, ang mga business owner naghihimo-hira mga business web to set up a home page for their web, ang mga negosyante. So, the last one is cryptography has protected free expression by allowing people to express their opinion with some degree of confidentiality and privacy. So, when we say cryptography, ang siya niya nag-study of securing communication techniques that allow only the sender and extended recipient of message to view the content. So cryptography ang siya nagprotect han aton pre-expression. So nga by allowing people to express their opinion and some degree of confidentiality and privacy. So yon. So moving on, the internet technologies as tools for censorships. So, the internet censorship tools may dahiya tulu, which is an sailboats, content filters, and the last one is encryption. So, when we say sailboat, a sailboat is a robot program that send a message to one or more news group to cancel or remove from posting a certain type of message. So when we say sailboat, usahiya nga robot program na nagka-cancel han usa nga message or cancellation. For example, an Usenet News is nag-publish herahan usang information. Then inggamit nera ini nga sailboat to cancel han usang publish information. Then encryptions. So encryption is the process of encoding information. So this process of converts the original representation of the information known as plaintext into an alternative form known as hypertext. So an encryption from plain text iya convert to hypertext. Actually in ato ni the topic ni Ma'am Noemi. So never na akong elaborate or ano. Then the last one it is content filter. A web filter is a piece of software that prevents certain web pages from being displayed by a browser. So ini nga content filter hiya nagmo-monitor ang mga restrict access content, ang mga inappropriate, ngan offensive, ngan risky. For example, ini hiya ang content filter nag-start ani hiya ha internet. Then filter ito ng mga information or filter hiya, then makadto hiya ang process and content filter. Una is nagditikang ha internet, then filtering or nagfi-filter hiya, then masunod ang ha router, then ang lastly naman makadto na hiya ha mga user. So filter han first ba han tubig nga mineral water. So ang mineral water may diya filter filter niyan mga maghugaw bago maging malimpyo or matawag na iya nga mineral water filtration. So, hamon laad to. Thank you.